Hey everyone, welcome to Locked On Lakers, a special bonus post-game one edition. Brian Kamenetsky, Andy Kamenetsky. The Lakers use a huge and unconventional fourth quarter to take a 128-112 win in game one in Memphis. Lots to talk about. We'll do it next.
You are Locked On Lakers, your daily Los Angeles Lakers podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Thanks to everybody for making Locked On Lakers first listen of every day, Monday through Friday, and obviously sometimes on weekends. No matter how or where you get your podcasts, it's always going to be free and never behind a paywall. Join us on Locked On Lakers on YouTube. 15,000 subscribers now, plus strong, who are all going to be real jazzed after Sunday's win. 128-112 in Memphis. The Memphis Grizzlies lost 6 games at home all season, Andy, and the Lakers went in and took game one. We're going to get into all kinds of stuff, but individual performances and the way the Lakers played, what comes next, all that stuff in the main show coming for Monday. But in this one, Andy, we got to focus on that fourth quarter because this was a great game, back and forth the entire time, and the Lakers, who have not closed consistently well all season, were dominant in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and it wasn't just the idea of being dominant in the fourth, which they were, and it's not just the idea that, unfortunately, Ja Morant got hurt with about 5:48 remaining in the fourth quarter, a hand injury that X-rays came back negative, but Ja said after the game his availability for game two is absolutely in jeopardy, and you obviously don't want that to happen, but it's part of sports. And when it does happen, you need to capitalize, particularly against a team that has shown over 2 seasons they can play really well.
Oh, yeah, they're good.
Yeah. They have an established track record of playing without Ja Morant. And so it wasn't just the idea that they played well in the fourth. It wasn't just the idea that they capitalized on this misfortune for Memphis. It's that they did it with a big three of D'Angelo Russell, Austin Reaves, and Rui Hachimura.
Which, for people, regular listeners of this show, is exactly what we said was going to happen. Anthony Davis had a couple late buckets, last minute, polish it off kind of buckets, dunks and stuff. But for the bulk of that fourth quarter, LeBron and Anthony Davis combined for two buckets. I think it was actually, was it 2 buckets or 2 shots? But I think it was two baskets.
No, 3 baskets. They were 3 of 4 from the field in the fourth quarter.
Right, but I'm saying 2 of those buckets for AD were in the last minute or whatever it was, and when the game was essentially over. So yeah, it was and it wasn't. It was really well executed stuff from LeBron, from Hachimura, who was insanely good. 11 of 14 for 29 points, career high, I believe, just in any game. But 11 of 14, which is nuts. And Austin Reaves, 8 of 13. The two of them combined for the highlight of the game, which was Austin Reaves driving the baseline and whipping a behind-the-back pass to Hachimura for 3. That was teed up perfect. It was 100% on target behind the back, and it was insane. And that was the kind of plays that the Lakers made. And you mentioned D'Angelo Russell, 19 points, bouncing back from a bad play-in game. If you'd have told me, Andy, that that's how they were going to win, with LeBron and AD scoring basically a bucket each in critical moments of the game, I would have thought in the fourth quarter, okay, well, they must be up by 40, right? No, this was a tight
Or somebody
game.
Got hurt, which
right.
Had been the concern with AD in the first half. Thankfully, he came back. We'll talk about it in the regular show. AD was an absolute monster on both ends. LeBron talked after the game. He was asked about trusting, Reaves and Rui had they had the biggest moments in terms of production that you find on a score sheet. But, D'Angelo Russell was in the middle of everything as well down the stretch. And all 3 of them are somewhere between playoff untested, because this was Austin Reaves' playoff debut, Rui Hachimura had played very few in his career with the
Played
Wizards.
five games, one series, I believe.
Right. And D'Angelo Russell had played in 2 series out in the first round and did not play particularly well in either. He was asked about trusting those guys down the stretch. And LeBron said, look, they were playing really well. And if it's not broke, don't fix it. And that it's part of, the leadership that he wants to instill, which is confidence in those guys and letting them know. And he's referred to the supporting cast a lot as my guys, which is always a great sign of what lies ahead and his belief. But it's also, too, there's a practical element in play. Those minutes that LeBron does not have to take over or exert himself heavily, whether down the stretch or, frankly, this whole game, those are minutes LeBron gets to save for down the road. And we've talked about, we have not seen a long, extended playoff run for LeBron that did not include a 3-month break for a pandemic since 2018. LeBron has 1,000,000 miles on his odometer, and he is admittedly tired. This is a massive bonus for them.
Yeah, and I think just from a practical standpoint too, like, somewhere maybe in the deep recesses of Dylan Brooks's mind, he's like, I got them to take the ball out of LeBron James's hand in the fourth quarter, and he's welcome to think that. But really, what the Lakers are doing here is surprised as probably we were Lakers fans, whatever it might be, to see the ball, LeBron playing legitimately off ball, like truly off ball down the stretch of this game. Not like Kobe used to talk about it, where he might pass the ball on a possession, but like in that instant where he doesn't have it, that's him off ball. LeBron was
it's him repositioning himself to get the ball back.
Right. LeBron was legitimately playing off ball. And if you're scouting the Lakers, if you're trying to figure out, okay, what's going to happen in the fourth quarter, you might write down, Austin Reaves, ball handler, or whatever, but in the back of everybody's mind, from every member of that, I guarantee you, every member of the Grizzlies that was on the floor, of their coaching staff, if you would ask them going, LeBron's going to have the ball in his hands in the fourth quarter. And when you put it, by being able to put it in Reeves' hands as effectively as they could, they just kept, like LeBron said, hammering this matchup over and over and over and over again. And Reeves makes phenomenal decisions with the ball. I'm not saying he's LeBron in terms of the overall package, but in terms of like trusting somebody to make the right play at the right time in a game, I trust Reeves. And quite frankly, LeBron's been a little free and loose with the ball more than Reeves has over the in this game and in games leading up. It adds a wrinkle to the way the Lakers play. You talk about adjustments or doing something unexpected or different, which matter in a playoff game. What the Lakers did in the fourth quarter by taking LeBron off the ball and leaving it in Reeves' hands as much as they did, and LeBron, quite frankly, letting them do it. That is a decisive factor in this game.
Yeah, LeBron talked after the game about turnovers being really one of the only issues the Lakers need to clean up heading into game 2 in terms of things they did not go well, and he made a point of noting with a smile that the majority of them were either him or AD. Yeah. So he was calling himself out. But as far as that decision making that you mentioned with Austin, the last thing I would bring up is James Worthy on the Spectrum Sportsnet Access Lakers postgame show, after affirming his belief in D'Angelo Russell and Dennis Schroeder as ball handlers and as players. He also noted, quote, "But I have to say this, Reeves is the best decision maker of the
I heard
three,
that too,
especially down the stretch." That is a hell of a compliment coming from James Worthy. Mm-hmm. So, it's just another asset that the Lakers have down the stretch. And, Austin Reeves, 14 points and 2 assists, 5 of 5 from the field in the fourth quarter of this game. I mean, again, we're going to get into a hell of a lot more in the regular show, but this fourth quarter was huge for the Lakers heading into game 2.
Suffice it to say, Jeannie Buss is going to have to, kind of look through the drawers and the empty storage boxes or whatever she might think to see, are there savings bonds? Are there something?
She's going to have to sell a lot of Sincoro is what she's going to have to do. Like Laker fans, if you care about running this team back, everyone buy a bottle of Sincoro. You know,
Yeah,
it's
or 3
really good
or 5.
Yeah, it's really good tequila, and you will be helping Jeannie help you. So
Help them
there
help
you
you.
go.
But Rui Hachimura and Austin Reaves made a lot of money on Sunday. And so all of it, good news for the Lakers. Again, we will be back to talk at length about everything that we saw on in game one on excuse me, on Sunday. We're gonna have Howard back on the show to talk about the series going into game 2, which is Wednesday. So that's coming up on the channel. So we'll do all that. But first, Andy, this.
Locked on Lakers is brought to you by Prize Picks, and Laker fans, if you have not signed up for Prize Picks yet, you are missing out on daily fantasy made easy. Prize Picks has the best NBA DFS prop game on the market. They offer more NBA props than any other DFS prop operator. The superstar players, the bench players, some of them put up superstar numbers. Just pick 2 to 6 players and predict whether they will notch more or less in their Prize Picks stats projections, and you can win up to 25 times your moolah. And Prize Picks offers projections on everything from MLB to PGA to disc golf. Just use the award-winning app on both the App Store and Google Play. Entries can be made in 60 seconds or less. It's safe, fast withdrawals, and you can download the Prize Picks app or go to prizepicks.com to sign up, play daily fantasy sports. First-time users can receive a 100% instant deposit match up to $100 with the promo code Locked On. Again, don't forget the promo code Locked On at the sign-up for the instant match. If you're not playing Prize Picks, you do not know what you're missing.
Locked On Lakers also brought to you by Built Bar. If you're looking for a delicious snack, but you don't want all the sugar and all the calories, this is the best tasting protein bar out there ever. It is built, and you got to try it. If you're like me, you want to make healthier snack choices. I am constantly just, eating, picking things up while I think what kind of stuff we're going to write, creating content for the show, whatever it is, through my workday. When I think I want to eat stuff, and if I'm going to be doing that, I want it to be healthy, and that's Built Bar. They're healthy, they taste really good, and they're actually good for you. Starters, they're covered in 100% real dark chocolate. That's my preferred kind. I like that better than milk. And so right there, you're dealing with something that's going to taste good to me, but they got the flavors: churro, peanut butter brownie, cookies and cream, all kinds of good stuff. I like the raspberry ones. I don't know how they do it, but the bars taste like a candy bar, and they maintain amazing macros, only 130 calories, 4 grams of sugar, 17 grams of protein. And now you can, you don't have to order them just online anymore. You can go to built.com. You can do that, but you can go to your local Walmart or Sam's Club, and you get your specialty flavors right there. If you go to your nearest Walmart and walk to the pharmacy section, you can grab a box there. Pick up a box of four of cookies and cream, double chocolate, coconut puff. All of them good. And if you're close to a Sam's Club, you can do it there. Go get your Built Bars, and you can thank us later. And we'll see everybody for the main show on Monday.